Does COVID-19 impact require the government to take a second look at the budget 2020? Should Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman press a reset button and present another version of the budget given the new challenges that face the economy right now? On February 1st, when the Finance Minister presented the Union budget, she was broadly confronted with challenges of households not spending. Also, companies were sitting on mounds of unsold inventory, farmers were in distress, economy was shaky, and the queue of job hopefuls was only getting longer. However, things have changed drastically within these 2 months. COVID-19 and its spread are threatening to leave a devastating trail of destruction across the economic landscape, blowing into smithereens the very framework of orthodox fiscal policy planning. Every element in the world's and India's fiscal policy planning will definitely need a relook. Almost every component in the annual accounting exercise and every element of assumption and projection now requires a second look too. Let's take a look at the GDP growth assumptions first. In Budget 2020, a nominal GDP growth of 10% for FY21 was projected, a goal that looks almost unthinkable to achieve given the rapid turn of events. The Finance Minister had posited India's tax revenues will grow by 12% in FY21 compared to the previous year. She had also penciled in a non-tax revenue growth at 11.4% to 3.8 lakh crore rupees. Now, the budget math had also set tall targets such as the disinvestment receipts, worth about 2.1 lakh crore rupees, spectrum and other proceeds from telecom companies worth 1.3 lakh crore rupees, and dividends from the Reserve Bank of India and banks worth nearly 90,000 crore rupees. All these and many more would need a serious re-examination right now. The extent of the ruin will critically depend on how long the lockdown persists and the pace at which restrictions will be phased out. The economic disruptions will reduce revenue and tax compliance. The lockdowns and the prolonged restrictions may also force many a company to shut or to curtail operations, lowering the government's tax collections as well. Healthcare costs will see a sharp spike, and the government may be forced to offer a series of relief measures to help businesses and individuals to stay solvent. These may come in the form of tax reliefs, benefits, salary support, and loans, resulting in ballooning budget deficits. Consider this: during the Ebola outbreak that spread rapidly across Africa, many countries in West Africa saw their deficits jump by about 9% of the GDP. This occurred even when most of these economies have relatively smaller public sectors and lower welfare spending as compared to India. Now, world leaders, including Prime Minister Narendra Modi, have not hesitated to compare the coronavirus challenges to that of a war, where the mutilation to the economy may turn out to be far deeper and wider. But can the budget be represented? Well, in the last 74 years of budget making, there have been 3 occasions: financial year 57, financial year 66, and the fiscal year of 72, where the Finance Minister has presented a fresh set of proposals midway through the financial years. In 2 of these cases, FY65 and FY72, India was in a war both with Pakistan, which required immediate funds to finance it. In 1956, the then Finance Minister T.T. Krishna Chamari also presented a second budget on November 30th, compelled by an impending foreign exchange crisis that the Arab-Israel war, also called the Suez Crisis, caused by halting merchandise exports from across the world, including India. Now, the challenges that the current Finance Minister faces are far daunting than these times. Sitharaman faces a fiscal war that will require her to deploy all the policy arsenal, unorthodox and conventional, to win this fight. When the storm also passes away in a few months, the Finance Minister should look at pressing the reset button and present a fresh budget with new targets and assumptions.